This is EdCast, a program created and produced by educators for everyone interested in education. It's difficult being a parent, and it's not easy being a student. Put those two together, and some genuine challenges occur. Both young men and women struggle to negotiate the many responsibilities of parenthood alongside the demands of college life. For some, getting into college is the first difficult step. Two CUNY programs are trying to help college-age parents be both good caregivers and good students. The CUNY Fatherhood Academy assists young male fathers who are under or unemployed to enter college. And the Empowering Student Parents program helps those in college who are parents or expecting a child. Today on EdCast, we'll learn more about these innovative programs. We'll also listen to the stories of students who have participated in these initiatives and feel they have benefited from their many services. Coming up on EdCast. My guests today are Darryl Rogers, Senior Director of Pre-College and Academic Programs at Ostos Community College, and Jasmine Bermudez, Community Health Educator at Ostos. Thank you both for joining us today on EdCast.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the CUNY Fatherhood Academy, Darryl. When did it begin and what is it?
The CUNY Fatherhood Academy originally started at LaGuardia Community College in 2012. And because of its success, we received funding from the New York City Office of Mayor Young Men's Initiative to launch it at Ostos Community College and Kingsborough Community College.
And what is it exactly? What does it do?
It's a program. There's two types of ways a young father can enter CUNY Fatherhood Academy. It's a program targeting 18 to 25-year-old young fathers who want to either pursue their high school equivalency diploma, formerly the GED, or want to enroll in college. So our goal is to provide either instruction for them to get the skills they need, math, reading, and science and all, that to pass the exam under the umbrella of parenting, fatherhood. And the students also receive parenting classes in the afternoon as well. The ones who are interested in enrolling in college has a whole different avenue. We do both groups career exploration, what it is to go to college, etc. And they do an internship, as well as doing parenting classes in the afternoon as well.
How many participants do you usually have in the program?
This will be our second cohort. We have 30 young fathers who are now currently studying for their HSC, and the same 30 young fathers who will start in February to either pursue their HSC or college prep.
And why is the focus on going to college? I mean, why is that one of the goals?
Well, not necessarily to go to college. We also want to explore vocational, occupational training as well, because we found that, for example, in the first cohort of the college prep, they've gone through the track of, going to college, exploring majors, etc. And then one guy said, well, I'm not really interested in college. I want to go into EMT. I want to go into allied health. So we also explored that with them as well. The goal is to either work with these young fathers to either go into college, if that's something they want to do. So we have one young man, Angel Mercado, who decided to go to college, and he's also part of Jasmine's program. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we have also students who are pursuing EMT.
Okay, great. So Jasmine, let's talk a little about your program. Your program is called Empowering Student Parents. So tell us about that program. What's its goal, mission?
So our goal is we work with the student parents on campus who are already in the college, taking college level courses. The program's been around since 2013, and we are funded by the New York State Department of Health. And what we try to do is support the students throughout the time that they're there, and get them to stay in school and ultimately graduate.
And it's both female and male students?
Yes,
okay.
You can be pregnant or parenting. We also have a few students who are legal guardians of children. So, and it doesn't matter what your major is. It doesn't matter how many children you have. All you have to be is a student and a parent, or pregnant. And what we do is we try to meet with the students regularly, make sure that they stay on track, make sure that if there's anything that they need help with, that we try to provide that support to them. So they make appointments, they come to my office, sometimes we go back and forth through email, and the program continues to enroll students. Since 2013, we've had well over 300 students identify as being student parents. Some of them have, graduated since then, but we keep enrolling students. So our program just keeps growing.
How many students are in your program?
Well, probably a little over, probably at this point like 200, 250 maybe, because a lot of them have graduated since 2013. So.
And you have something called the 2-Generation program. What is that?
Well, the 2-Generation program is a summer program where we provide a free course to the parent, and they also are allowed to have their child in a summer camp. So we ultimately providing childcare. And they take a free summer course, and the child is taken care of the entire day from like 9 to 6. So after the parent is done with class, they can study or go to work or do what they have to do without worry about who's going to take care of their child. So
let me ask you both then, why are programs like this so important? What need do they fill for our students?
Our students really need supportive services, and I think that they're young fathers, so they need to know that we're there. For example, we provide case management, so we have a case manager. So in the event that the student is struggling academically, we can provide tutoring for him. If the student is struggling, let's say, finding housing, we provide housing for them. If the student just needs, for example, some food for his family, etc., we can refer him to Single Stop. So without those supportive services, there's a lot on their plate already. They have to deal with, how do I juggle school, work, and just making ends meet. So I think it's very important that the CUNY Fatherhood, as well as her program, is to provide these avenues for the students. Childcare, for example, is also an issue for our young fathers or our young parents.
What are some of the particular concerns that your students have that might be a little bit different from Darryl's students?
In particular, probably the fact that they're first-generation college students, most of them.
And they're in college now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are their challenges?
Their challenges are, they don't know how to navigate college. It's their first time. Their parents maybe didn't go to college, so they don't have that support at home to say, hey, mom or dad, how do I do this? Or how do I fill out my financial aid? What should I do if I run into a problem? So that's kind of where we help them out, and they can come to us and say, hey, I'm having this issue. What should I do? We have a lot of pregnant students who maybe are going to give birth in the middle of the semester. That's a big question. Can I stay in school while I'm pregnant?
Right.
Am I going to be held accountable? Am I going to fail my classes? And that's something that we want to let them know, that there's support. We can help you, and there's a lot of support on campus and even within the community.
I had the opportunity to speak with some students who were participating in the Fatherhood Academy. So let's take a look. My guests today are Gilbert Colon and Gilbert Colon Jr. Welcome to EdCast, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Gilbert, tell us a little bit about your relationship with the Fatherhood Academy at CUNY and why you decided to become a student who participates.
Well, my name is Gilbert Colon. It's my first year into this program. I was very into it for my son right here, and I just wanted to show him that school is very important and it's something that we were gonna need in the future, and without it, it's gonna be harder. And I want to show him my struggle before his own struggle, to just show him that struggles is gonna be something that comes along and we just gotta get through it.
Now, before you joined the Fatherhood Academy at CUNY, had you gone to a traditional high school? Had you graduated?
I went to high school, but I didn't finish it.
Okay.
I got all the way up to the 11th grade, and I had my son. Wasn't a reason to drop out or anything, but school wasn't really for me either. So, I didn't want to put him as an excuse or anything. So I just kind of stood out, got a job, support him.
How did you hear about the Fatherhood Academy?
Well, I found out about it by the news. I watch the news every morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I seen it one morning and I was very interested. I grabbed my pen and paper and just wrote down the number and I called the next day.
Now, when you called them up and you spoke with them, what did they do for you immediately? What was the first thing that happened when you got down there?
Well, one of the first things I heard was free.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that
free,
right
fine,
there was
okay.
just like music to my ears,
Sure.
and the conversation just kept getting better as they told me as much certificates they could help me achieve during the program, the short period of time being of the program.
What do they want to see from a person who comes and says, I want to be part of the Fatherhood Academy? What do they want from you?
Well, they want to see consistency. They want to see responsibility with, you know, being on time, showing up for these programs, making it on time for the classes.
What's it, Gilbert, what's it like for you having Daddy doing all this?
I feel happy
You feel happy. Why do you feel happy?
because he supports me. And my birthday's coming, and I said that all I want was Pokemon cards, and he buys me Pokemon cards.
Got you Pokemon cards? Well, there you go. Does he ever read to you or help you with your homework or anything?
He will help me with my homework,
Yeah.
and sometimes when the books are hard, he will help me.
He helps you with them. So do you want to go to college someday too?
Yes.
You do? And tell me a little bit.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's
I hate when
okay.
you talk like that about me. It makes me trip.
Well,
Yeah.
all right, so let's go to that just for a minute. Then being a dad, before you said you hadn't finished high school, what were some of your concerns then about, you know, were you concerned you might never be able to finish school? What were
Yeah,
you
that
thinking
was
about?
one, and just like, tell him that school's so important. Like, I gotta listen to your teacher. You gotta finish school. And his first year in school, he was top 5 in his class. So, you know, I felt like, all right, he's really, you know, listening to me and taking it serious. And then, you know, he's getting older and he's gonna start graduating. And I don't know if you know the meaning of a diploma now, but when he gets his own and he asks me to see mine, I don't want to be like, oh, Dad, I don't got that, you know? And I don't want him to feel like, oh, my dad lied to me, he's a hypocrite, and that messes him up later on.
So you're setting a real example for him as someone who's overcoming difficulties and also wanting to be a really good father. Does the Fatherhood Academy give you any, I don't just mean you, any of the participants, workshops in terms of parenting skills? Because you seem to have such a lovely relationship with your son. Do
Well,
they do anything?
They do, but mine's is more natural off yeah, just
The natural
wanting to,
parent?
yeah.
If there's somebody watching the show who's in your situation, a parent who has not finished high school but who wants to go to college, what would you tell them?
I tell them it's, you know, the very same slogan everybody else tell them, it's never too late.
That was a very touching, I think, interview about one student's difficulties, and both of the students that I spoke to talked about some of the services. They mentioned your programs are free, and they mentioned free Metro cards. Is that true for your program as well, free Metro cards?
Yeah, so our program, we have an emergency line. So what we do is if the student comes in and identifies as having an emergency, whether they are having trouble providing food for their family, or let's say they lost their Metro card, or, you know, case by case, but we have Metro cards, round trip Metro cards, we have gift cards. We also have meal vouchers as well.
So both of you then would agree that these kinds of services are the services that your students especially need to stay in school or to be successful.
Yes.
The free, that's free, the Metro cards. Both of the students that I spoke to talked about the help with being a better parent.
Right.
What kind of workshops do each of your programs offer?
Well, we offer parenting classes in the afternoon. So, for example, one of the parents will want to talk about how do I co-parent well.
And one of the students mentioned the issue of co-parenting.
Co-parenting. I want what's best for my child, but I don't get along that well with the mother. So how do I strike a balance with making sure that our child's being taken care of, his needs are being met, etc., and get along with her as well. So we provide that type of parenting classes in the afternoon. We also look at in terms of, we're very fortunate that none of our students have to deal with child support issues, et cetera, but we also bring in guest speakers to talk about that, you know, in the event that you have to deal with child support, what does that look like? How to find the right book to read to your child. What does it mean to read? The importance of reading to your child. So there is a variety of parenting classes that we provide for them in the afternoon as well. So they do the academics in the morning and the parenting in the afternoon.
How about your program, Jasmine? What kind of parenting classes do students get?
We offer a workshop. We try to do it twice per semester, and then we'll do it again in the next semesters in case you missed it. But we offer a variety of workshops. We offer workshops on how to save money. We offer workshops, we offer a nutrition tour where we have somebody from the New York Common Pantry come in and they show the students how to shop the healthy way so they can make better choices for them and their family. And they're also given a gift card after they participate in that. So we have a variety of workshops. I mean, it really depends on the needs of the students. So one semester I had a lot of students come in and say, my child has an IEP. I'm having a lot of trouble. I don't know how to read it. I don't know what to do. And we actually got somebody from the New York Lawyers for the Public Interest, and they came in and provided a workshop and actually explained to all the students how they should read their child's IEP, what they need to look
and
for.
And IEP is for students who have special needs and need
Yes.
special services, okay, just to clarify, okay.
And they're also an advocacy group, so they were also able to make relationships with the students in case the student does need help with that, and they will support them through these IEP appointments that they may have for their child.
I want to take a look again at some more of my conversations that I had with our students. I'm speaking with Darryl Greene, a participant in the CUNY Fatherhood Academy. Thank you for coming on the show today, Darryl.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your situation, and why you were drawn to the Fatherhood Academy.
Okay. Well, as you know, my name is Darryl. I'm 21 from Bronx, New York. I have a daughter. She's 2 years old.
What did this give you that you feel you might not have gotten if you weren't part of the Fatherhood Academy?
To be honest, it's the fact that they draw you in more or less to, I guess, with the knowledge that you'll walk out there not only being a high school graduate or HSC graduate, but a better parent too.
In what way have they making you a better parent?
So far,
Yeah.
to be honest, a little bit more attentive and mature and sincere when it comes to my daughter.
What kind of help do they give students in terms of parenting?
Oh, they give
Like what?
parenting classes, which is basically you have about 30, 45 minutes to an hour sit down. Basically, and at first they start you off with questions on your concerns about being a father. Should I be reading to my child more? Just different techniques on however old your child is, on how you can interact with them and get a better understanding of how they may be feeling or able to help them express themselves over time.
What do you think is the most difficult part about being a young parent?
Trying to be on the same page with the co-parent.
Okay, so that's your child's mother and
Yes.
Okay, and so in what way does the Fatherhood Academy help you deal with that? Because that's always a problem. In what way do you think the Fatherhood Academy was helpful to you?
To be honest, not only does it gets my daughter's mother an insight on me trying to actually progress in my life.
So she is in touch. She's a part of it, or she knows about it from you.
Yeah, she's very
Okay.
knowledgeable about it. But as far as us, we're not exactly what you call together, but for the sake of our daughter, we try to group together when it comes to making decisions for her. It's not always perfect, it has its ups and downs, but being in the program has allowed me to build a little bit more patience for it.
What's your daughter's name?
Rosemary.
So when you finish with your GED, I
By
assume,
December.
and so that'll be very quickly. So then what do you want to do after that?
I plan on going to college, working on digital engineering, because I like music and I want to learn how to, I guess, better myself when it comes to different softwares and how to develop different types of music.
And will the Fatherhood Academy assist you in pursuing that job?
They have a couple of centers where you can stop by anytime after classes, of course, or on your own free time, whenever during the week, where you can go in. They help you with your resume. They also help you with different things like food stamps if you need, for the people who don't have those type of resources. Tutoring. They have a really good, very good library, which I have not gone to yet, but I need to. But they have a lot of different programs that.
So just to go back for a minute, what would you say to somebody watching about who was in your situation about the benefits of something like the Fatherhood Academy, and why should someone look into that?
It's all about being consistent and ambitious at the same time. Knowing that you have somebody else that's counting on your every move is not only just about you, should be inspiration enough. But there are some people who need the extra push and actually need to see that there's more than way of an option than what's given to them up front.
I was taken by the sense that the students have of needing to be good parents and having a certain level of maturity. One of them, I think it was Darryl, spoke about being mature and being able to do what's best for my daughter, what's best for my child. And I was thinking to myself even at the time, well, I know lots of adult parents who can't always get it together and co-parent really well, you know, forget about being a young parent in school. What do you make of this notion that we often have of teen parents or young parents just not caring, you know, you refer to as a deadbeat dad or, you know, a parent who doesn't care? What's your sense of these students? Jasmine, you want to go first? What's your sense of that?
I mean, I work, majority of my program is with the mothers.
With the mothers, okay.
So most of my population is moms. And, you know, a lot of them...
Are they young mothers? Are they teen mothers? Are they older?
It's about 50-50.
Okay.
So maybe some of them are 25 and under, and they can be as young as 17 or 18. And then we have ones who are a little bit older. And most of them are single mothers, and they have a lot of these conversations with me about, you know, I don't speak to the dad, and what I try to explain to them is also they have to reflect upon themselves as well, and see are they making it difficult for the dad to reach out to their child? Are you putting up barriers to stop him from seeing them? You know, maybe you guys need to meet halfway. What can you do to make co-parenting easier for the both of you, instead of just saying, you know what, you want to see your child, you'll figure it out, you know, but it's just not that easy.
Right. And how about you?
The same thing. I just want to put it out there, public knowledge. It is indeed, since I've been working with these young fathers, it is a myth, a misconception that these young fathers are not responsible parents. They truly, even the expecting fathers, because you know, they want to be there. They tell us, you know, she has a doctor's appointment. What can I do I have to miss school? They're very responsible. So what do I need to do to make up the work, etc.? We also have activities for the parents to come with their children, to do an activity on the weekend. So we do a family activity, etc. We want to encourage the moms to be part of the program. We want to also have the moms see how important it is for the dad to either get his high school equivalency diploma or enroll in college or go into vocational training. They need that support system. So they get it from us, but they also want to get it from the baby's mother as well.
Do you think we need a motherhood academy?
I think it would be a good idea.
And what might it offer young mothers? We know now in terms of the fathers and being able to offer some support and provide for their families. What would you want to see in a motherhood academy?
I mean, it would obviously be similar services,
Yeah.
but maybe more information on things like, you know, breastfeeding or after you have the baby, what happens, you know, just different things like that.
Do you have any data yet about how successful your program is in having students attain their community college degree?
Yeah, I actually have some information. I have, in year 2 of the program, we had 156 students enroll. So 156 students came in and identified as being parents and enrolled in the program. As of the spring of 2016, we had about, sorry, I have it in color. We had about 40% still enrolled.
So that's school retention rate. So you would,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So we had 28% not enrolled, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to ever come back. It's just as of the end of the spring semester, they either took a semester off, they might have had a baby, they might, you know, different reasons why students take off a semester. And then we had about 19% graduated at that point, and 13% who were expected to graduate as of spring 2016, but we're not sure based on grades if they actually did graduate at the end of that year. So.
And you are trying to find either a job for students or a career path. How successful have you been in that work? And how many of your students actually do enter college, even if that's not the only goal of the program?
So, for example, I want to talk a little bit about those students who are pursuing their high school equivalency diploma, the first cohort. The majority of them pass everything except math or science. So that's a huge accomplishment for our students who take the exam for the very first time. And then a third of them passed everything on the first go around. If you think about it, they've been out of school for a very long time. And then those students were now transitioning them into college or EMT. So those third who was in the first cohort are either in college. Angel Mercado is also part of her program. He did his internship under her, fell in love with health and wellness, and now he's in college. He's also taken advantage of the daycare center that we have on campus as well. So he's excited to go to school with his son. He drops his son off to school, etc. He picks him up. As well as employment. So there's an employment piece that we help with the students as well. So we got a young man who's now working at FedEx, etc. So it is success based on ensuring that the student is meeting his academic and professional goals. So I really want to put like a quantitative thing on it. I look at it in terms of how we look at success for the program and for the students, what they desire.
We're going to wrap up in a minute, so I just want to ask you both to recap the eligibility requirements for your programs. If somebody wants to join the CUNY Fatherhood Academy, what are the requirements?
A young father between the ages of 18 and 25. He can either want to pursue his HSE or enroll
HSE means
high school equivalency, formerly GED, or want to enroll in college. It's a 16-week commitment to the program.
And how about for empowering student parents?
For empowering student parents, all you have to be is a student at Hostos Community College and either pregnant or currently parenting. So you could be a mother or a father, you could be part-time or full-time, and we don't conflict with any of the other support programs that are on campus. So that's all you need.
Okay, and your website information, we will put that on screen afterwards. So I want to thank you both so much because I think the stories of the students were really inspiring, and the information that you've given should really let everyone know, as one of the students said, it's never too late.
It's never too late, and it's free.
And it's free.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, Jasmine Bermudez and Darryl Rogers. Thank you so much for joining us on EdCast. That's it for this edition of EdCast. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to sharing many more important educational stories with you this year. Till next time, class dismissed.